Alright guys, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel if you've been here before. Today I'm going to be using some scrap wire shelving. This is some cube shelving that had 4 sides back, or 2 sides back and then a top. But have too much of it, and the connectors that connect all together, a lot of them were broken, so I got them all for free. And I made this trap about 5 months ago. I've done some upgrades to in that time, but basically set it, the 4 doors open, and then the crabs can get into the middle, which I have a bait strap for, and also did that some zip ties so I can seal it up again, and it doesn't become a storage problem. But today I'm going to be making this, like one of the, I think it's like a Danielson kind of, more other companies make it, but that's the only one that I can really think of that it's just the square trap around it, and like half the size of just the top, which probably gonna have half one of these is gonna be the walls and stuff, but I'm gonna be trying to make one of those, but just have it 2 doors, and I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but I'm going to try using it for Dungeness crab. I'll have to cut this down so that I'll take out 1 square in the middle. Make sure this is the middle. There we go, this should work. And I'm just going to be using some heavy duty wire snips. See, yeah, I'm going to need bolt cutters for this. I'll be cutting the small wires. There we go, got that one just cut out, so that the middle pieces are cut out. And now since the larger bars are on the outside, or a little bit too hard to cut with the small cutters, I'm going to be actually using like bolt cutters, or some more heavy duty wire cutters. Halves cut. This is going to be how tall the trap is going to be. Pretty small, but hopefully it'll work. Off the last piece of wire. There we go. That should be done. And looks pretty good. So I got that cut down from the, I think it's 9 or so across, just like 8 across. But these will be the halves of the traps, of the trap. Looks pretty good so far, at least. There we go. We got all of these made. Now we got all the sides done. She'll be another piece size I just can't roll up, and it's gonna be a decent sized trap as well. So now it's time to get to building. Alright you guys, so in Alaska it is, to make your pot legal, you have to have 2 escape rings, which are 4 3/8 inches, like in the inner diameter, and for each wall, the other one that's going to be on the other side, I'm going to have one here, and then on this side, on the other side. But this just makes it so that if there are any undersize, they can't escape, and then you don't have to be dealing with them really, and it's just that it also can have a legal trap. And to also make this legal, I will be adding on like some Broadway cotton rope onto the trap to make it so that the crabs can escape if the trap gets lost. And then that'll just Broadway and they can all get out. But I'll now go on to probably building it. And thinking just starting off by probably cutting out my doors for the crabs to get in, which will be across here, which is probably about 6 inches or so of room for them to get in. You know what? Should be enough. I think it will, and then that'll also be like up here, so decent part I will be cutting out of trap. There we go. Now here's what the door is going to be. Swing open and close. Alright, so to do what I want to do, I'm going to need to bend some of the wire. There we go. I'm going to try and cut down some of these wires. That looks good for the door. And now this is going to be the bottom, so should be good. Now I'll take a zip tie. Great guys, so now I have the door and this I will be just kind of trying to help, but be zip tying from the top loops of the door here. Then through the first square over of the trap door. Then I'll copy that on the other side. There we go, and now I got that. But it is just swing here, so I'll be fixing that somehow. I'll be trying to use some 19 gauge wire. It's like a millimeter thick or so. And I'll be trying something and I'll get back to you if this does work. Alright guys, so I got the door on, and for that I just did zip ties, and then added some stainless steel wire, some of the wire that I showed, like 1 millimeter. And for kind of a random problem that I wanted to just do a random solution for, put this spring here to keep the door aligned because it would slide way out of place, and it also keeps it so that it closes a little bit tighter so that in any current it won't just swing open and let any of the crabs that are in out. So I'll repeat this. Alright guys, after a lot of work, I got, well not a lot of work, but quite a bit of work, I got the other door done. So now I have 2 identical doors. And I'm going to work on installing them. So just make sure that we open the right way and take quite a few zip ties for installing the walls because I want it very tight. I will be installing my escape rings onto my walls of the trap. Which means cutting out some more wire. So gonna be getting some smaller zip ties to also secure the wall. Ties to secure actually the escape rings, not the wall. And I want to be on the side. This one I'll have over here, so I'll start off by taking out one of the corners worth, which will be 3 by 3 is what I actually need. It's the perfect kind of about 4 5/8 for my escape rings. Just gotta pop out the wire. There we go. And got my escape ring hole made. And now I will install my escape rings with just some tiny zip ties. There we go, got my escape ring zip tied on. There we go, now I'll install my first wall that has the escape ring on it. Alright guys, I have everything trimmed off now. It's already very sturdy. Got all this zip tied every 1 square. The ring added on. And the door also does work pretty good. It springs right back with the spring on there. But now I'm going to be adding on the other door wall right here, and then the other wall with the escape ring right here. Alright guys, so I just got the wall of the door added on to the other side, from the other side. But, now I'm going to be adding on the escape ring onto the other wall. But I'm also going to be having it on the other side, so I'm not going to be having it straight across from it, but I'm going to be having it diagonal from one ring to the other. Alright, there we go. The escape ring is installed. Now it's just time to cut off zip ties and install it onto the trap. Alright guys, and for this side of the trap that has one of the escape rings, I'm going to have it set the side can open, and I'm just going to be tying some rod-away cord from here onto the top of the trap, so that if the trap sits for too long on the bottom, like it gets lost or something, the cord will just like kind of rot away kind of in the water, basically. Be nice to the name, but and then this door will open freely and let all the crabs that are in there and let them out. Alright, so now it's time to add on one of the main parts, which is going to be the top of the trap. Should be pretty easy to add on, hopefully that doesn't happen. But to start this off, I'll just be here on a whole bunch more zip ties, because I don't have any much more on the table here. And I'll get to securing the top on, just not securing on the side that will be holding open and closed. Alright guys, so right now I'm going to be finishing the rest of the trap. I'm going to be actually closing this up and making just a top opening for me to open up and get any crab out, put the bait in, or do anything inside the trap. So I'm just going to be doing some rod-away cord on the line that's going to be holding that closed. So I'm going to first get the rest of the trap closed up, so it's a little bit easier to work with, and then I'll move on to adding the hatch basically on the top of it. So should also make it a little bit sturdier than before, so let's get to working. Alright, well, I got the trap all finished up. All the sides are secure. With the extra side, it does make it extra secure, like, cannot move any parts at all. But with the parts that I cut off from the escape rings here, I'm going to be using these to make a good door, so I could put either bait or take out crab, do anything inside the trap. And to do that, I'm going to be having to cut it. Just have to make sure I know where I want to cut it. Well, there we go. Got the door cut out. I just have it as a square without any like wires poking out of it, and I just have the wires poking out on the trap. So I'd rather not be opening it and then like hit it with my hand and then stab myself. But now it's time to secure these, which are going to be to make sure that the door stays closed and nicely closed as well. But in order to do that, I will be also cutting off some smaller wires here. There we go. Now it's going to be time to install these two parts, and to do that I'll be, of course, using zip ties like usual. But I just need to make sure that I have it in the right area before I start zip tying it, because I don't want to really waste any zip ties. But alright, so this one will be going over here. Time to start zip tying, I guess. But I will get smaller zip ties for this part. There we go, just brought you guys in a little bit closer to show you better. This is a little bit hard what I'm going to be doing, at least to show for the camera. Now that should be good. Now I'll have it set basically on like this, goes out. Corner of the door will sit right here. Show you guys. I'll sit on there like that, and I'll also have one on the other side to make it so that does not go into the trap at all. Go probably along this side, and it's time to just use some small zip ties. There we go, that's very secure, like I can lift the trap with it as well, so now we'll bring the camera to the other side now. And basically copy what I did on the first side, but on the second side right here. There we go. This will be where the door will rest on. Get this back down in there. That will be where the door will rest on and not go anywhere. And for the hinges, I'll try and zoom this in again. I got this right here that I cut it so I still have an area that I could zip tie here. That's going to be where I'll put the hinge so I could open and close the door with just a zip tie, of course. There we go. I'll try and get this a little bit tighter. I'll still stay in place. And then trim the zip tie. Then do it once again on the other side. There we go, that looks good. I can open it, close it. Quite well. And now I'll make the strap so I can keep this closed and not have it open and close again. Alright, so I have this like bungee kind of cord. I'll also be grabbing 2 zip ties. Well, I have zip ties in this project, but make sure that I have it so that's the right way. And also in the right area. Which I'll just go from that corner here, back from where the door opens. Then make a small loop there. And this is where the zip tie will come in. And I'll just stick it around the elastic cord. Tighten it as tight as possible, because that will actually basically close off that cord there and make it so it cannot pull out. There. As much as I pull on it, it will not come loose, which is good. Then I'll just cut down the elastic cord a little bit. There we go. And now I'll go up to that corner as well. and basically do the same thing just over here. Trim that again. For the elastic cord just to get it out of the way a little bit. Then this will help secure the lid of the door, or the trap, so that it will not go anywhere. Now I'm going to show you guys how to make it legal for Alaska and also add a hook on it so I can just hook it onto the trap and easily make it safe. Go ahead and just hook it down, and can't open it, then just open it up and then I would be able to open it. Alright you guys, so here I have some Rodaway cotton cord. It is, to make it pot legal you have to have it so that it will basically just biodegrade in water. And with this, the lid will be, the strap will have some Rodaway cord on it with a hook on the end that I'll hook down here. And if the trap were to be down on the bottom for too long and has some crabs in it, then the rope will just biodegrade, and this will be able to let the lid open. This is just for being able to actually have this pot legal. I have to have this for any ring traps or kind of what I made with the 4 doors. That does not need it because the crabs just come and go. But this, with the doors, they can get stuck in it and die. So you need to have the Rodaway cord for that. And to also make this Alaska legal, I added the escape rings so any small ones, I think it's 4 can escape, but yeah, I have a little hook here that I just made. This is going to be to keep the trap closed, and some of the Rodaway cord on the hook, so I'll just tie this, there we go. Now I'll get this secured onto my strap that will keep the lid closed. Got that all tied on, so now I can go down and clip it, and this will keep the lid secure so that it will also, rope will biodegrade if it does sit on the bottom for too long. And yeah. Alright guys, well here is the full finished trap. Got the doors that are nice size, enough that could probably fit a decent sized crab. Got the escape rings to make it legal. Also do have the Rodaway cord, or the biodegradable rope for making it more legal. This will also have the trap door wheel to stay closed, which decent size door, especially for this size trap. But this will be easier for me to put bait down here, grab any crab out of it, or do anything on the inside of the trap. I did put this rope harness on. This is just some sturdy rope, so pretty good. Have a loop on there to tie on to my main line. Some zip ties just hold it all together. So yep, got the 2 doors, the 2 escape rings, one on this side, one on the other, to make it all legal, with the Rodaway cord to make it even extra legal. So thanks for watching, y'all. Subscribe if you want to, don't have to, but if you did enjoy the video, please do that. And I'll be using this probably next spring and summer, so see you guys there. Thanks for watching.